What's up, guys? In this part of the tutorial, we're going to finish our second hand, eyes, and we're going to finalize a rope. This is a follow-along tutorial on how to create doodles. So at this point, we do have a hand and we're going to work on the second hand, okay? Yes, Kiwi, we will work on the second hand. So let's at this point merge hands, the pieces of the hand, the forearm and the upper arm. Right there, you can see it's now one layer. I'm gonna add another one. I'm just gonna name it hand 2 for now. Okay. Let's start somewhere from here, right? So here you can't see the hand, and I'm talking about the back hand. Okay, this is where you would see the hand. What I am going to do is I'm going to copy that hand and then put it in the second layer for the other hand. Okay, paste, move it probably like this. Yep. I think I'm gonna do exact same thing here. Copy, hands 2, paste. Alright. We will most likely need to redraw the rope so it actually connects to both hands. But it's okay. That is fine, it's not going to be a problem. We have only 58 frames. Usually I have way more. My largest project was like 500 frames, I think. Close to 600 frames. So, and then at this point, don't worry about putting it right above the body. We will erase and we'll figure that part out. Then hand is gonna be hiding again, hiding. Yeah, let's be hiding, and then this one is going to be copy, paste, and move it a little bit. Same thing, copy. Another layer, paste, and move it. Same thing. What I'm doing again, I'm going to the layer where my first hand is drawn. I'm highlighting it and copying it. Then I'm going to the layer where the second hand is, and I am pasting it. And I'm adjusting position a little bit, so it looks right. All right. Copy, paste, paste. Alrighty, so what I'm doing is I'm highlighting hand that is already drawn, going to a second layer and pasting it, and that way I have same exact hand on another layer. Okay, what I realized here is I could have done some shortcut here, and I will show you what I mean in a second. Okay. What I could have done is I could have just go to the layer of drawn hand, since I'm just basically duplicating the same hand and moving it. I could have done this, and I could have duplicated the layer and then just go through the frames and adjusted the hand or delete it. But since it's only 58 frames, I don't think it's actually gonna be a lot of help. So I'm okay with doing with the way we're doing it. Okay. And bam, oops, sorry, not bam, going back here, bam. Okay, going to hands again, hands to paste, paste. Will you be able to see this one? I'm not sure, but let me just put it in visually validated. Yeah, you probably won't be able to see it, so I'm gonna skip that one. Okay, this one can't see, can't see, can't see, can't see, can't see. This one you should be able to see. Okay. For some reason, when I'm talking, he's like doing this weird sound with just empty air, like yeah, like this. You see? Okay, that's just weird. You have something to say, but you don't know what you wanna say, Kiwi. Is that what it is? Okay, buddy. Hands two. Bam. Okay, and then we're going hands again. These are the last few. Now what you can also do here is you can treat that hand right here as a draft, and then you can perfect your hand, drawn hand, using guide and using like the ellipses, and then the hand is going to be very kind of like flowing, very soft flowing hand. And then delete the layer of your draft, or you can just leave it and just go with it. I think I will leave it, at least for now. I think I'm gonna leave it. We'll see in the end what the plan is. Okay, I feel like this one needs to be just teensy and twisted right here. Okay, copy, hands, paste, twist like this a little bit. Okay, I didn't go with hands farther than that. And then let's go back to the very back. Okay, this looks good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use eraser. Let's go where the hands start. Okay, hand starts right here. I'm gonna use eraser. I'm gonna make it 20. 20 is about right, and I'm gonna make it feathered. Let's do 20 feathered as well. Yep, 20 feathered works fine. Maybe a little bit more. Let me do this. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna select hand 2, the one that I'm actually gonna be erasing, and I'm gonna decrease opacity, that way I can see through to see where the body is. Probably like this. I think I'm gonna make more feather. Let's do 30 or 29 or something like that. That works. Yeah, that's better. I hope I'm not sticking my hand into the camera because redoing this whole thing is gonna be a problem. Okay, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, this is where the hand starts again. So if you zoom in right here, you can really see where the body is right there, see? And that's how the opacity is helping us to figure out what needs to be erased. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. Okay, that looks fine. Now I'm gonna go back and change the opacity back to 100. Run it. Yep, that looks better. So now we will need to go back and delete some of the ropes and then put them in the right places. Okay, we have no problem with this one because we don't see the hand, but we will need to be on the rope layer because we're going to be deleting some of that. Oops, we got too far ahead. Okay, this is one of those layers that we will need to actually remove the rope. I made a note in my mind where the rope went. Okay, something like that. Same thing here. I'm gonna delete it. Same thing here. Delete. Okay, it was going, it's facing forward. I deleted without realizing where it's going. Okay. Now right here we know that this hand is behind that one, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make it look like it's behind. Okay. Okay. Same thing here. Same thing here. All right. This is where we delete and adjust. Same thing. It shouldn't be the same place, so it should be like then here somewhere. Okay, deleting, adjusting. Okay, deleting, adjusting. This one is kind of there, but I don't like how it's drawn, so I'm gonna delete and I'm gonna readjust. Okay, this one's fine. Just need to clean that up a little bit. Okay. Okay, this is where we can see hand, and the rope is not connecting. So then we do this. I think that's too long. Okay. Are you looking at the camera? Same thing, deleting, just following the same process over and over. And over and over. I need a little bit longer, I think, like this. Okay. Now the other part is that I wanted to tell you guys that you do not have to be like very immaculate in your animations. These frames are going really fast, so sometimes you can barely see the difference. You can sometimes forget to draw, for example, a rope on one frame and you won't see the difference. Just make sure you preview in the end, and if it looks good, then go for it. You do not have to be a perfectionist. And the main point is just to convey the idea, convey what is happening here. And if your animation can convey that easily, then we're good with that. Alright, I decided to take precautionary measures and then give Kiwi a place to poop on, because he will definitely poop on something soon. Alrighty. Delete. Draw. Draw. I do not like it. I'm just gonna have to redraw. There you go. Same thing over and over and over. Alright, that's it. So let's take a look. That looks great. So what are we gonna do now is we can disable the markers because we don't need them anymore. I unlock that marker and I disable that, and then this layer 8 is a second marker, the green one, if you remember. So now we don't have any markers, and then if we preview, that looks pretty nice. Now we want to figure out what we want to do here. Actually, we might want to have that marker because we haven't finished the hands yet. So we have about 11 frames to work with. Where's my, I am on the rope, okay. So I have about 10 frames to accomplish something here. Well, let's try to think outside the box. And again, I'm gonna take a leap of faith here. I'm not gonna do some crazy planning out, and I'm just gonna go for it and see if that works. You guys feel free to either follow or to do your own thing, but I'm gonna try to figure something out here. So in this 10th frame, she is gonna have, let me enable my onion skin. Oops, that's the rope. You actually need then a rope like this. Am I on the rope? I'm not actually on the hands. Oh well. Let's move that to the rope. Copy, delete. Rope. Paste.
Copy, delete. I can copy, delete. Hands. Copy, delete. Rope. Paste. Paste. One more. Copy, delete that.
And as you can see, I'm jumping between layers a lot, and that's where it is really helpful to see these indicators. Okay. Okay. And then I have to be on the rope because I still have the pen and color for the rope. Okay, so let's do our hands now, and then we can come back to the rope. So for now, we know that the rope is 4, and this is the collar. I'm gonna add that collar since I'm using it as a rope. I'm gonna go back here. I think the hand was like, what, 10? Something like that, 10? Where my hands are. No, 10. No, 11, 12? 11, I think it was. Yeah. It was 11, but I wasn't pushing it all the way. No, definitely not 11. So if you're standing, pulling kind of like this, yeah, that's where the hand is going to be in the middle. Alright, just improvising here completely. This is too long, I can see that, compared to other ones I do. And this one is also too long. I was trying to reach to that rope. Okay. That looks good. I'm gonna go to the layer for the hand too, and I'm gonna manually draw that as well. So okay. Now I'm gonna go back to the rope. And I'm gonna just rope. Places where a rope is fine, I'm gonna just finalize it by clearing up that space right there. Hiding it behind the body. Oops. We need to do 4. And we need to pick that color again for the rope. Cleaning it up. Okay. Did I forget? No, I didn't forget. I actually, on purpose, did not do the second hand here. Okay. So again, onion skin is helping me to figure out what is happening in the previous frame. And as I can see in the previous frame, I am kind of pulling it closer to towards myself. Or the chicken is pulling it towards closer itself. So I need to give it a more slack. Now here's another part. I want this to look right, because right now it looks it's jumping from one place to another. So I see this stick right here and this stick right here, and they're gonna be kind of my mind markers. That means that this needs to go somewhere here. Yep. And that means that these need to sort of connect here. So I'm just gonna do some patching work here. You just lost feather, buddy. Is it yours? You wanna take it back? You don't need it? Okay, you don't need it. You don't need it. I'm gonna put it right here. You don't need it. You said you don't need it. I don't need it either. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the hand 2, and then we have to delete some of these things, erase some of this stuff. Okay. Okay, so far so good. I like what I see. Just checking frames. We can adjust the location of the rope here like this. Okay, and these are the remaining frames. So on this one, we have a hand like that. I'm gonna enable onion skin again, so it's gonna help me figure out where we are going. We're going to hand 2. Work on the hand 2. Gonna delete. Actually, on the hand, delete that. And the first hand. We are still with the rope. Maybe we should work with the rope first. No, I think I'm gonna work with the hand. Sorry. Rope hand, the rope hand. Hand 1. Okay, black. And going to 10. Just gonna try to do some jerking kind of movement here with the hand that I just like decided to be done with it. Highlight, copy, next frame, paste. Just gonna change direction a little bit. I don't like how it's lifting up, so I'm gonna delete that. And I'm gonna draw my own version. And here. And I'm gonna move my size to, let's do 6. Let's do 6. Just gonna move. Gonna make these. Open hand. I'm gonna highlight, adjust where the anchor is, copy. Because I will need it to be in two more frames. I know you want some cutoff, but yeah, I'm working on tutorials. Okay, and then after that, gonna go back to 10. And I'm gonna finish it up. I think this is too short. I think the jerking movement is too short. I mean, sorry, the jerking movement of the hand needs to be faster, and if I'm looking at it, it's not fast enough. Yep, it's like casual, but it has to be like really, really fast. So that means we need to decrease some frames in order to show that movement. So that means we can delete this. Oops, I need the selection. We can delete this and copy that to the previous frame. That way it's faster. Bing. And then we need to delete this one. Copy, and I'm going to delete it from here and then paste it on the 49th. And then here let's take a look first. I know I'm missing one frame, but let's take a look and see how fast it is. Yeah, I think this shouldn't be even here. Just copy that. Yeah, that's better. Let's take a look at what we got. I still don't like it because I think it's too casual. Okay. Maybe we delete this one. Let's try that. Delete, paste. And then since this is a moving hand, let's say it still holds the rope. Okay, let's take a look. I still don't like it. I think this one doesn't even need to have transition. It needs to be even faster. Okay, let's try that. It's all trial and error, but in the end, you have something. No likey. No likey. I am going to redo this whole thing. Okay. So starting from here, I'm gonna delete all that stuff. Okay, I kind of like that. So let's try with the second hand to kind of mimic the first one. Okay, erasing what is drawn. Oh, why do I not have hand there? Well, since it's repeating frame and the hands are kind of frozen in the same exact position, I'm gonna go back here, delete it, paste it here, and I'm gonna do the same with the previous copy. Go here, delete, paste, and adjust position. Okay. Alright, I am on the hand 2 and I'm going to continue to remove what needs to be removed. Okay. Now we're gonna go and do rope. So for the rope we need 4, and we need our rope color. I am on the rope layer. Okay, clean up a little bit here. Oops. So let me make size a little bit smaller so I can get in there. Okay, I'm done. So let's go back to hand 2. Well, actually, before we do anything, let's take a look first and then see how that looks. Yep, pissed off chicken. Not a gym day today. Why are you forcing me to do some workout? Okay. I'm going to do black, do the fingers 6. For the fingers, I'll just have I guess I'll just do with it. Now at this point I'm okay with all the hands, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and merge hands with hands, and this will give me ability to copy both things and replace them here. Back copy these. Yep. Delete. Okay. And then here I'm just gonna draw a little bit more, but not as sticking out fingers. Some indication that there are fingers there. And then after that you don't even need them. Okay, I'm totally cool with that. Oh, this got stuck to me. Isn't it time for you to poop, buddy? Okay, and then we also, do we have rope in the beginning? We finished, yeah, we finished rope in the beginning. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and then go to the rope and I'm gonna clean up these. I'm gonna go ahead and expedite over the next phase so you don't have to watch me doing this in real time. But you can do the same thing on your iPad or on your device if you're following me. Okay, I think I cleaned it up. Let's go ahead and take a look what's happening here. Okay, that's good. I like it. I like what I see, okay? This is good. We don't need markers anymore, we can delete them. This was also marker for the circle. You can delete that as well. And what we do need now is we need a layer for the eyes. Okay. Okay, so we are on the eyes layer. I'm gonna go ahead and draw an eye. I'm gonna use guide. I'm gonna zoom in real close, but I'm gonna make it much larger than what it is. I'm gonna go to, let's see, 3. Go to 3. Okay, that's 3. And then now I'm gonna put another layer under the layer of eyes, and I'm gonna go ahead and color that. Remove guide. And I'm gonna color this with almost white, not completely, but almost white. Okay. Okay. Then what I'm also gonna do is I am going to select pencil. I'm gonna do large pencil. Let's try 70. Maybe 70 too much. Let's do 60 something. 50 would work. Yeah, 50 would work. And then I'm gonna change the opacity to, let's say, 50%. So it gives me a little bit more control. And what I'm gonna do here is, again, I am on the layer behind the eye. I'm just gonna go ahead and then do sort of this shadow of the eye, okay? Make it so it looks like this. Okay, and then I will select white and then just smooth it out in the areas, just to make it where it's supposed to be a little bit brighter. Okay, that works for me. And then the next thing is, you can see there is some area sticking out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and then delete that, clean that up. So I'm going to disable the lock on the video, and I'm gonna completely hide it. That way I have my background as white, and I have my eraser. I'm gonna change my eraser to very hard lines, and I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up like this. Okay, that is my eye. It's huge, but it is. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it back because I am good keeping it there again, and I'm going back to the eye. Now, since my outline of the eye is in the front and the back, the filling of the eyes in the second layer, I'm gonna go ahead and merge them so they're gonna be all one thing. Okay, now they are merged. I am going to move it to the side because that's my kind of template, and I'm gonna copy it. And then now let's take a look and do the size for the chicken eye, because we want to make it big so you can make good impression, but at the same time you don't want to make it too big. So okay, I think, you know, this will work for me. I also changed the direction of where the shadow is. Originally I drew shadow at the bottom, but I see the light coming from this side. As you can see, this side of the body of the chicken is very, very light, and also shadow is going this way. That means the light source is this, on this side. So that's why I twisted to have the shadow kind of match where the shadow on the chicken is, and that. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it in. You know what? I'm gonna use that as an opportunity to teach you something here. I'm gonna go ahead, select pen, and I'm gonna do color red. It will probably add to my workload, but it will help me in the end. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do an outline of the chicken's head, and I'm gonna use that as a guide. Here's the beak. And here's a little bit of chicken's neck to give me a little bit of a direction. Now I'm gonna highlight it all and copy. And now that I'm pasting it, I can see the head direction has moved, and I'm gonna adjust that based on what I see there. Even farther. Even farther. And as you can see, it kind of helps me to find location for the eye. I think you get an idea. Basically, I'm using this as my tracking guide. Maybe a little bit up higher. Okay. Now, so when you're going from one frame to another, you can kind of make a note, mental note of what the object you're drawing on is doing. At this point, I see that the object is going a little bit down. It's like almost like she's kind of sitting down or something. So that means my drawing item on that object needs to go down as well and kind of match that motion or that movement. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up so you don't have to watch me doing frame by frame. The other thing I want to just say that sometimes when you, for example, need to adjust angle and then keep that angle for a while, it would make sense to copy your adjusted angle and then continue to paste it over and over in the following frames. But there is a problem with that. So the problem with that is that in this application we are working particularly with something is called raster, and the raster is basically treated as just any drawing, like a picture really. And then if you copy and paste the same picture over and over again, it's losing its quality. It's not like vector. When you're doing copy paste of vector continues to retain its own quality and then its preciseness and focus and everything, because vector is really calculated on the digital devices as a mathematical equation. Raster is just a basically description of where pixels are and what color they are and stuff like that. And when you paste that over and over again, it's losing its quality. So for example, if I'm going to copy my eye and then paste it and then copy an eye from the next frame and then paste it to the next one over and then continue to repeat the same process, by the time I'm going to get to frame 30, my eye drawing is going to be very blurry. Okay, here I see that the head is significantly smaller, or that head fluff is significantly smaller, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave that as is, because I do see that chicken is in the same distance. It's not really changing its size, it's just an angle. Besides, looks like it's just only one frame, so it's not gonna make much difference. Alright, back to speeding it up. Several people contacted me in the past and asked exactly that question. How do you track your objects? And what are the tips that you can give me to track the objects to make my life easier? And that is exactly what I'm doing here. Just pay attention, make an outline, do something that you can kind of track. For example, if you're gonna use body, the eye and the body are not relevant, because eye is not really on the body, eye is really on the head. So you really want to capture where the head is and perhaps the angle of the head as well. Now the indicator I have here is the beak. I made a little dip here and I'm using that as an indicator. So at this point I see that the chicken is actually turning head a little bit towards us. It's no longer sideways. I'm going to continue to work on this eye, on the right hand side eye really, but I will make a mental note that on the 40th frame chicken is turning head, and somewhere around 40th I perhaps will need to draw a second eye. At this point chicken moved so much that my tracking indicator is no longer relevant here, so I'm trying to go by the feeling. I also noticed that the center of the eye, really kind of the middle portion of the eye, is meeting the beak, and that's what I'm using it as a mental note for tracking. Okay, so I finished all the frames, and now I'm gonna go ahead and then clean the outline up. You can use selection tool or you can use eraser, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna disable onion skin for now so I can kind of see the red. I'm gonna go ahead and expedite that part as well. Okay, I deleted everything, and I mean those helpers, the red lines, the helpers that I had there. Now let's take a look and adjust a little bit. It looks like this one needs to go a little bit back. This one also needs to go a little bit back, farther back. Okay, so I think it's now clean. I'm good with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and create another layer, and this layer is gonna be below this one. So I'm gonna select rope and add new. So this layer 14 is my left eye, so I'm gonna do I1. And then that layer 15 that is under is going to be the I2. Okay. Now if you remember, I still have that in my clipboard. If I'm going to paste it, that's what I'm going to end up having. So I don't want it. And at the same time, I don't want the very last pasted version there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and select this eye. Let me make a center here, select the eye. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to I2. To see where the head is twisting, up to those layers. Yep, the layer 40 is the one. So now what I need to do is I need to kind of match where the shadow is. So looks like the shadow is like that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it a little bit tinier, smaller copy, because I will definitely need to keep the size. Okay, like that. Like that. Onion skin would help. Can show me the distance between eyes. Since the head is twisting or changing the angle, I need to adjust the distance between eyes. Usually I try to do two eyes at the same time, but since there's only a few frames here and the chicken is moving head a lot, that means the distance between eyes is constantly changing. See what I mean? Like if you're looking right now at my pan, and that's how chicken is looking at you. Let's say this is one eye, this is another eye. If the chicken turning head, then the distance between eyes in your perspective is going to be shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, depending on the angle. See what I mean? That's what I mean. Like when the chicken is turning head, me from like a viewer, the difference between eyes or the size or the distance is changing depending on chicken's head angle. I see chicken is twisting head a little bit, and that's why I am also changing how eyes are connected to each other. Okay, so I think that's gonna be fine. Now what I need to do is I need to disable few frames to have no distractions and disable the iron skin. Wow, Scanian, how about that? And I'm gonna have to change the opacity of this layer to like 30 or something that I'm gonna be working on, so I can really clearly see the difference where the body is. Okay, I'm changing my tool to eraser. I do need soft edge, so I'm gonna go ahead and do, let's do 30, 20. Start from this side. As you can see, I can still see the eye, but I can see the chicken's body or head behind, and that would makes me more comfortable for me to erase things. Yes, I probably will need to kind of do a touch-ups when I'm gonna enable that completely 100%, but at least that gives me a really good indicator where and what needs to be cleaned up. Now, soft edge is giving me this little advantage of very smooth transition, and what that smooth transition does for me, it's not that I really need smooth transition here. What I do need here is actually to kind of match up the resolution, the quality of the image, because if all of a sudden my eye is very like slick, very like hard focused, good quality, you will definitely see that that eye does not belong, because it's not matching to the chicken. So me making the soft edges here is actually kind of helping me out match that lower resolution blurriness in the back. Okay, I'm gonna go to 100% and I'm gonna enable second eye, but I'm gonna still keep my selection on the eye too, because that's what I'm still working with. Okay, right here I erased too much, and as you can see I have grass in between. So how do we patch it? We patch it like this. We're going on the, we'll create a layer, and we'll put that layer behind our working layer. So we're working with I2, and we put it behind. Then I'm gonna go ahead and select pencil. I'm gonna select in the pencil color that I really need to fill in. My pencil is gonna go back to the size 5, 4, something like that, and I'm just gonna do a touch up here. Okay, that works for me. There's no longer, you can see grass behind, you can see a little bit here, so we can touch that up as well. That's it. So then we take that layer that we were working with, and then we merge it with the touch-up layer. We're gonna have to rename that back to I2. Okay, and let's finish up looking through things here. that looks good for me. So the next thing is pupil. Okay, let's work on the pupil. Okay, we're gonna draw a different pupil, and I'm just gonna create a layer. I'm gonna call it P. Date. And then what I'm gonna do here is we need black color. I'm gonna make it large. Okay, blip. That's what I did. That's gonna be pupil. But before I make it a pupil, I want to take eraser, make hard edges. It doesn't matter what kind of edges we're gonna make, but let's make somewhat soft edges. I adjusted to 20, and the size, we need 20 size as well. Oh no, probably 25, somewhere in between. 27 I end up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this bloop. Basically it will serve as a reflector or a reflection dot. And then I'm gonna highlight it, move it, and then copy it. Now I'm gonna add it here, and I'm gonna adjust the size. Okay, I'm gonna remove this so it's not in my way, because I really need to see where that reflection is. So since that's gonna be the beginning, I'm gonna be looking down towards the rope. Rope is gonna be kind of the attention object here, and the chicken is gonna be focused on that. I think once chicken's gonna start jumping, I think it's just gonna look straight forward. And you know what I'm thinking? Since it has the momentum going, and I really need to keep the same where the eye is. I'm gonna make 2 dots. You don't have to do it, but I want to make 2 dots. That will help me. So where is color? We're gonna do 2, and we're gonna do size 2, and the color I'm gonna do blah blah. Let's do yellow. No, let's do red again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put dot here, and dot here. Okay, and then I copy that, paste, and I just basically put dots on the black line. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speed up that part of the process. Okay, this is where I got to 2 eyes now, the frame number 40. And on the frame 40, when the chicken is turning head, I want to make it look like it's looking at us. Okay. That means that those red dots will not help me anymore because the location of the pupil is going to change. Number 40. Because I still have it on 39. Yep. Number 40 is going to be like this. And when it's looking at us, it always has the pupils in the center. Okay. Okay, and at some point chicken will become unhappy or mischievous. Did I say it right? Mischievous. And it's gonna decide to throw away the rope. So when it's gonna become mischievous, the pupils will be tiny. So what we need to do is here, we need to paste, make it smaller, like this. Copy, paste. Now should chicken look at where it's throwing the rope? No, probably not. It should continue to look at us because that's like a deliberate action. It's like, I'm not gonna do what you told me. I'm looking at you and I'm doing what I want. Okay. So to make these doodles is not hard. All you need to have is the time, desire, and just a little bit of patience, of course. And in a way, it's a very good, I want to say wasting of time, but it's not a good term. It's not the term I'm looking for. It's really good time spending for take the steam off, you know, just take a little break from this life. You had a very busy day at work. I don't know if you guys have a stressful job or not, but I do. And in the end, you just want to kind of sit down and then take a little break from this life. And that's what these doodles that's what they give me, this just adorable, cute, silly animations. Okay, now I do remember that in some places this black pupil ended up on the chicken's body or the fur, and then we definitely need to remove it. So I'm gonna decrease it to like 3, and I'm gonna leave the featherness at 10 or so. So right here, this one's not so bad. Oh, how did I miss that one? I missed that one completely. That one's okay. I think it's where it gets really the big pupils. That's when we need to clean it up. Yeah, right here. Alright, I'm gonna have to adjust the opacity of my layer so I can kind of see what's behind and erase just what I need to erase. Alright, and then after that we don't have second eye. So let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Let's run the test. Okay, I like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to so pupils are fine. I just need to go to the very front, find where I started doing those three dots, the indicators, guide. I think I started doing them when the chicken started looking straight forward. Yeah, right here. There you go. And then just to delete them, and I erase them. I'm gonna go ahead and expedite that part as well, so you don't have to sit through. I'm gonna just speed it up, and you can take your time. If you're following along, you can take your time, do that on your own, but you don't have to stare at the screen and get bored. Okay, I cleaned it up, and now I'm gonna go ahead and merge eyes so I have them in one layer. And I'm also gonna go to the very front where I actually created those two templates, and I'm gonna go ahead and select and delete them. We'll also do that for pupil. Okay, now we don't have to have any distractions, so I believe the animation is almost done. So if you're gonna take a look here, we have what we are looking for. Now, we didn't need to do any cover-ups, which is great, but we do need to add some shadows. Go ahead and take a break, get a coffee, and come back for a very quick short piece to do shadows.